Flix with the Hicks, where we tell you about the movies. We tell you if they're great or if they really stink. Now it's time to start the show. Yeah, now it's time to go. Guess what? It's Flix with the Hicks.
Hey folks, welcome to Flix with the Hicks. I'm Greg, this is my wife Janet. We're from Strange RV Tours. And each week on Flix with the Hicks, we review two films that we watched this last week on DVD. We pick the best film and the worst film that we watched during the week, and we review them. So this week, Janet got tasked with picking the worst film that we watched this week. What was your selection, Miss Jan?
Skyline. So, should I just start with what I thought of it?
Absolutely.
Thumbs down for me. I mean, I like sci-fi type movies, some of them, but this one was not made to great expectations or whatever you want to call it. But essentially, it came out in 2010. The budget was between 10 and 20 million. It grossed 68 million. But get this. There's two sequels on this. I can't believe it. You know, in 2020 they had another called Skylines. You know, but I mean, I was not impressed. The graphics, the CGI, the story. There's a couple that goes to a big condo complex and they're supposed to have a birthday party for somebody, and the main characters, I don't even know anybody in the casting except one guy, and he's been on Dexter and several, Zayas is his name. But I recognized him, and he did pretty good in it, but the other actors wasn't very good. I mean, the aliens come in with these big machines and big monster things flying around, and octopus and they never die, and they're making everybody into these zombies. And you know, if you look into the light, it wasn't good. And it, you know, like just a glimpse affected them, and the ending was creepy. I didn't like the ending. The military not supposed to be trying to help, and they military's a lot better than that. You know,
It wasn't a very well-made film.
I didn't think so.
I didn't think they developed the plot line. It just starts with these things happening and coming out of the sky and killing people and people trying to survive.
Yeah.
The characters were not. I couldn't sympathize with them. I mean, it was they just didn't develop the characters of the script very well, and some of the special effects were beyond unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's supposed to be a pregnant girl. One of the main characters, she's pregnant, and the way that all worked out and to the end, and I don't want to give away the story if you want to watch it. I mean,
some of the special effects were really bad, and some of them were pretty darn good. It was a fun film to watch. It just wasn't interesting for me.
Yeah, the storyline. Skyline, to me, 0 to 100, I'll give it 20. I didn't like it at all. The story, special effects, the whole idea, aliens making us zombies and sucking us up to machines. And then it's just not there for me.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
Like I said, I just didn't find the film that interesting. The special effects were fun to watch, but the storyline just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
I would give it a 30.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on to the best movie of the week, which I got to pick. And our best movie of the week was The Outlaw Josey Wales, starring Clint Eastwood and directed by Clint Eastwood. This film was made in 1976 for $3.7 million, and it grossed $31.8 million. And it's a fantastic film. Fantastic film.
Yeah.
But this was the first Western. Before this Western, Clint Eastwood had primarily done spaghetti Westerns, where he played the tough guy and that didn't show any emotion, just always a stoic face. But this was the first Western that Clint Eastwood really showed some emotion in, which really added a lot to the film. A wonderful film, shot beautifully, good storyline, great acting. Also has Sandra Locke in it. But in this film, Clint Eastwood plays a Missouri farmer. The film starts off with his family being murdered in front of him while he could do nothing but helplessly watch. Some Union military, the Union Army, had marched onto or ridden onto his farming property, burned the place down, killed his family. After that happened, Clint Eastwood decided to join the Confederate Army. He joined a Confederate militia group and made a name for himself, trying to fight back against the Union Army that had destroyed his family. When the war ended, when the Confederate soldiers went to hand their guns over to the Union Army, in Clint's, or Josey Wales' militia, he had made a name for himself in this militia. But his militia decided to hand their guns over, but Clint didn't. And he watched as his group of brothers, we might say, military, handed their guns over and were executed by the Union soldiers. So now Josey Wales is considered an outlaw, and he makes his way to Texas trying to avoid the Union Army and bounty hunters, trying to make a new life for himself and his new family. So anyhow, wonderful film, great acting in it. There's nothing that compares to a good Western made during the time frame in the 70s when Clint Eastwood was making some of his best films. So I would give The Outlaw Josey Wales, on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd give it a 91. I'd give it that high, yeah. I think it's a classic.
Yeah, it is a classic. I liked it. That time frame in the history, it was brutal. It was brutal. And it's sad, that happened here in the United States and all that. But I think Clint Eastwood stepped out of his comfort zone on this one because he did put more into it, and I think that made a big difference. And to this day, he's done so much, and I think this is groundbreaking for him in a way. So I thought it was great. I like old Westerns. I like history. Not that this is really history, but it's during that time. But crap like that happened. It did. Yeah. And, it's just, I like the movie. Okay, 0 to 100, the horses, all the work put into it and everything. I'll give it 85. 85, yeah. I would watch it again. By me, I wouldn't like idolize it, And anyway, I thought it was good, y'all. Going and watching these Westerns from the 70s, some of these older classics, it's fun. And then you compare deaf film footage from then and now, what a difference. But the stories, some of the stories are a lot better than now. A lot better than now. Yeah. But anyway, I liked it.
All right. So there you go. One great movie and one not so great movie.
Yeah. And I can't believe they did sequels on it. I can't believe it. And then David Zayas, Z-A-Y-A-S. I think he's a neat guy. I liked him in Dexter. You know, he's been in several other things, you know, but the others, no. You know, they're like young, upcoming. I don't think any of them turn into big stars or nothing. But anyway.
All right, folks, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Flix with the Hicks. And until next time, go out and see a nice film.